COVU seemed like more of a bigger company and more capable of handling the insurance marketplace that we're in right now and surviving and giving us access to more key carriers so we can be more competitive and sell more business.
And just give some context about your agency, basically what states where you're operating in, the main carriers that you've been appointed with, book composition, roughly around like your premium size, just a little bit more about your agency and the context.
Well, Lord's Insurance Agency, Inc. was started around 1976 by my ex-partner, Ted DuPont, and that was in Campbell, California, in Northern California. And I went to work for Ted as a producer in 1988 and wanted to live and move to Southern California. So I opened up a Lord's Insurance Agency of Southern California, Inc. in around that time. The total commissions are around 1.2 or 1.3 million, I believe. And makeup of the business is maybe 50% commercial lines and 50% personal lines. We do business with Safeco. I mean, we have a pretty good sized book with Safeco. Maybe I think it's 1.2 million or something like that.
And now, tell me a little about like when did you decide to sell your agency and why did you decide to sell your agency? Tell me a little about like when this it happened and like you're thinking about it. I'm sure like you've been thinking about it probably like for some time, and then you at some point decided to, okay, now I want to get like more serious about it and going through the process.
I would say I became serious about seriously thinking about when am I going to sell this agency or when I'm going to retire a few years ago. Because the end of this month I'll be 73, so that I would have been about 70 then. And, that's when the thought occurred to me that maybe I should think about retiring, or at least divesting myself of the responsibility of owning the agency. Anybody that thinks owning an insurance agency is an easy job, they have no idea. A couple of years ago in the summer, a man from Arizona contacted me, and he was very into buying this agency, and this was like a 6-month process that we went through with this guy, and then it turned out he didn't have a Safeco appointment. And at that time they said, I told you it's about 1.2 million in book, and that kind of killed the deal because Safeco's not appointing anybody anymore. so that deal fell through. But then I was contacted by COVU directly without going through a broker, and the deal was made.
So what were like the key factors in deciding which buyers to proceed with? So one was that Safeco situation. What were some of the other factors that you were thinking about? Like, okay, this is the potential buyer, and these are some of my requirements if you want to, proceed with like giving me an offer and just proceeding and just like potentially saying to them.
There was another offer that I didn't mention from a guy in Seattle that had a Safeco appointment, and he was referred to me by Safeco, and around that same time, and then COVU seemed like more of a bigger company and more capable of handling the insurance marketplace that we're in right now and surviving and giving us access to more key carriers so we can be more competitive and sell more business. And the deal just seemed to come together easy with COVU. I don't know, it just happened very smoothly, and we didn't really have any issues that I can remember. I mean, another situation is this is a very diverse agency. I mean, you have maybe 50% of it is English speaking, and then the other 50% is primarily Vietnamese and some Chinese, and so it's very diverse. And COVU was a better match for the type of clientele we have than the other company that was serious.
And how would you rate COVU's communication and support during the entire process of selling and transitioning your agency?
You know, it's been a smooth process. We haven't had any issues that I'm aware of.
So, of course, like I assume, like some of these 13, 12 different staff that you had, I assume like some of them been with your agency for some time. How did they feel about overall, like I'm sure like you've been talking to them probably like about the situation. They've been informed to some extent, obviously, about the type of buyers, maybe, I don't know, like tell me a little more about like the employee's role in making that decision, or just like how they feel and what they thought of COVU. And of course, some of them that's going to be potentially transferring to COVU and working for COVU now.
I think they were happy because, you know, they're, as long as they do a good job and continue on, I mean, they will have a future. And if something had happened to me, that possibly could not be the case. So I think when we announced that this was formal, I mean, I think everybody was happy about it.
Makes sense. Definitely, like just having more opportunities for the career, just to growth opportunities for themselves, and of course being more productive as agents or CSRs. And I think hopefully it's going to be very exciting for them, as so far been. So how do you feel about the future growth of your agency now that it's part of COVU's ecosystem?
Well, we'll see in the next month when we look at the markets that we're going to be exposed to here with COVU. But where I stand right now and what I've seen so far, I mean, I would think that we'll do well. We should be able to grow. I mean, we should be able to close more commercial lines business, and on the personal lines side, we're going to have a lot more markets also. And our personal lines these days, they're just like commercial cases that people are having to pay so much money for especially their homeowners insurance. It's ridiculous, you know. And so it should be good.
Overall, like how satisfied are you with the decision to sell your agency to COVU, and would you make the same choice again if you go back?
No, I would recommend it. I mean, it's been a good experience. I mean, we haven't I mean, we haven't had any issues really in going through this. So if you have another buyer in line and you're looking for for my statement about how it went, I mean, I would tell them that it was a smooth transition and did what you said you were going to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. It was very nice talking to you and meeting you. And thank you again for taking time and talking to me and sharing your experience.
Okay, Mo. Nice meeting you too.
COVU, your partner to run and grow your P&C insurance book.